Hello everyone, my name is Maria and this is Knitting as Therapy. Welcome to my channel or welcome back to a new video that I decided to share with you today. And we will talk about Knitting for Olive book. I have some marks inside of it. I put tiny thin needles inside of it to mark some patterns that I wanted to discuss here in this video overview of this book. I know that there is already some amount of video reviews of this book, but I decided to make my own because I found some more patterns that are interesting for me that I plan to make by myself as well, that were not mentioned in those videos that I watched before. That's why I wanted to share some of them with you today. This book was published in autumn last year, and the price was approximately $40 or 40 euros. I'm not sure. Here in Ukraine, the price is approximately $40, I would say. I wanted for it to be delivered a bit over a month. So the situation is a bit complicated with the deliveries, but finally I got it and I can check all the patterns. Getting a bit into details, I can say that of course it will be great to have this book in the hard covering. It's in a soft one. It's very nice, but you know that it's a very thick book with a lot of patterns inside, so it's not really transportable, so you cannot bring it with you somewhere to work on some pattern. Probably I will just make some photos of it to bring it with me in case I will work outside on some knitting project. So that's why I don't really get the reason of making the soft covering for this one, as I want it to last long and to be a nice addition to my knitting bookshelf. I would love it to be like hardcover for sure, even taking into consideration that it will increase the price of the book, of course. So that's the first thing that is most noticeable when you are touching and checking this book for the first time. The book itself includes 20 modern knitting patterns. Also, it includes some general overview of Knitting for Olive brand. Maybe you heard about this brand before. So that's a brand of yarn from Denmark. So their store is located in Copenhagen. The owners are mother and daughter. And the story behind this is when the daughter delivered a baby, and her mother decided to make some clothing, some nice knitted clothing for the grandkids. Some of their friends started asking them about the opportunity to make something the same using the pattern created by her mother. That's how they got into designing of kids clothing. It's not part of this book, there are only adult patterns, but I am working currently on one for the baby, and I see lots of details taken into consideration while creating the kids clothing for sure. So I expect it to be also such a detailed version of patterns for the adults as well. In this book, there is some story also behind how they got to yarn company creation. They have a worldwide delivery as far as I remember. Also, there is a free delivery when your order is more than 100 euros, I guess. I have not tested it myself yet. I've managed only to buy once a soft silk mohair by Knitting for Olive, and I have not tried their merino wool yet because we have lots of options in our yarn stores, so I'm not sure that I need the exact merino by Knitting for Olive, but For sure, if I will visit Copenhagen, I will buy some to try, or at least to touch some of them, to find the differences maybe between Knit for Olive yarn and some other brands. Also, they have a great color selection. Of course, they have all like different faded shades of colors for their yarn. Also, I like the idea that they started creating like different shades of the yarns. They are combining their merino wool different shades with the silk mohair to see what's the difference. For example, if you have like some faded green shade of mohair, you can combine it with some greens, with some blues, with maybe something closer to brown, and see the differences on their Instagram page. All of these patterns suggest different Knit for Olive yarns, of course, but generally the selection of their yarn is like consists with regular weights. So there's fingering, there are DK yarn, and there are some silk mohairs. Also, they have like eco-friendly cashmere, I guess. I have not tried it yet. And they have some silk yarn as well, 100% silk. This book includes 20 modern patterns, as I already mentioned, and it includes some patterns like their old ones and some new patterns as well. As far as I know, some of them are available on their website. The price is approximately €5, I guess. So the overall price for the whole book really worth it. I've already mentioned like up to 10 patterns that I can make myself, or maybe use at least some parts of it for my project. So I think it really worth buying and converting it in some nice projects that I can knit myself. Getting closer to the book, there are lots of nice pictures with Knit for Olive yarns and some knit in progress. For example, this ornament is looking quite similar to my tiny tulips dress that I currently work on. In the content here, there is some introduction and the general description of how they are doing their work, what is the philosophy behind the brand, how they take care about animals. Well, not them, but like people that are working with animals, where they get their yarn from. Probably they are getting it from Peru. It's Peruvian wool. Not sure about this. Also, there is some story about how they started the brand, how they take care about the employees, etc. So lots of details. And the idea behind the name of Knitting for Olive, that you are always knitting for someone, and they decided to use Knitting for Olive as a brand name for their company. So this introduction part takes a little bit over 15 pages. Overall size of the book is, let me check, 270 pages generally. There are some abbreviation descriptions, some instructions, etc. on the last pages, some more photos and details there. And this is it. Lots of nice photos. I like them. They take like the whole page most of the time. There are some accessories as well here. So a December hat and olive scarf that is present here, and there are some collar and a beanie. The rest of them are some sweaters, blouses, cardigans, and so on. Some like bigger projects. The first one that I think I may make myself. It's a waffle sweater. Probably I will add some photos of this project if I will find them on the Knitting for Olive page. This waffle sweater is lightweight pullover worked in soft silk mohair. So it's just silk mohair used in this pattern. It includes at least 10 balls for the smallest size. That starts with 76-83 centimeters chest. This one is in centimeters. This book, probably it's like Europe version of the book. I know that there is like inches version of the book with inches for United States, probably in Canada. Mine is fine for me because we are using centimeters here. The hardest thing in this pattern, it's the lace, of course, some charts that are required to work on, but it shouldn't be a problem because there are no like issues in translations on something like this in the lace patterns in general. So you just follow the table and can mess up only with some house counting maybe. But after Tiny Tulip's dress, I'm not afraid at all. It should work. Definitely. It will be involving, but still I can do something with it. The next one that I like the most, that's Chrysler top. It says that it's inspired by Chrysler building, and it is made in 100% pure silk by Knitting for Olive, in twisted, half twisted rib stitch. So I assume that it will have quite sturdy feeling, and that's what I would like to have in such top for summer. I'm going to make something similar for sure, probably, or it will be this one. I don't know yet, but I like that the straps are so short and the shaping is really well, so this one is very nice. The next one is Charles Grey cardigan. It's a very long one, as you can see. The name inspired by Earl Grey tea. The man who gave the name to Earl Grey tea. That's my favorite tea as well, so maybe that's the reason why I selected this cardigan. So this one is very long, but the yarn required for this one is Knitting for Olive heavy merino, so it's DK weight merino yarn held with soft silk mohair, strand of soft silk mohair, and the overall heavy merino amount that is needed for the smallest size is only 8 balls, so it's 400 grams per such a long cardigan. That's surprising for me because that's like regular amount of yarn that you always need for any sweater or a cardigan. Here is one more photo of this one. It has such a strap as well to fix it. Looks really light and nice, but still warm at the same time. I think it's a quite nice cardigan for springtime when you do not want to wear a coat already. The next pattern is Fennel Sweater. It's a ribbed sweater with a deep v-neck. I think that I selected this one because of the color selection. It looks stunning. I love it. That's fennel seed shade. I already saw it in some other projects and I just fell in love with this yarn. It looks such soft and still a bit unregular, not some natural colors, natural shades that we mostly see in the knitted patterns. This one is made with DK weight heavy merino yarn by Knitting for Olive, 100% merino wool and strand of silk mohair. And this one also takes, for the smallest size, 8 balls. As I mentioned before, that's surprising that that long cardigan takes the same amount of yarn. I think it also worth mentioning that these sizes start like with 70 centimeter and goes up to 155 centimeters, so quite a big size range for the patterns in this book. The sweater from the covering, it's nature lace sweater. They call it a simple lace pattern. Not sure that it will be such an easy and simple one. I love 2x2 ribbon here, but I would fold the collar, I think, if I make this one for myself. I love the drop shoulder construction. I love the lace as well. Maybe it may even go fast because the lace could be involving, but at the same time it flies so fast because you always can see the progress comparing to stockinette, you know. So that's the reason why I like some cablings, lace, color works, anything, because it's just a little bit more involving, but at the same time it's not such a boring thing comparing to making some stockinette stitch sweater on some 3.5 or 4 millimeter needles, you know. This one is made also with 100% merino wool DK weight by Knitting for Olive. The size range is the same. The amount of yarn as well. Made on 4.5 millimeter needles for the ribbon and 5 millimeter needles for the main part. So seems like a quick and nice project to work on. One more, they also promote it as like breastfeeding, like a nice cardigan for breastfeed. It's darling wrap around cardigan made with a deep v-neck wrapping around the waist with a deep v-neck and in 2x2 ribbon, as you can see. I love how short it is because it may fit with different dresses or skirts. Also a nice idea for the spring. This one is made in fingering weight merino wool yarn hauled with soft silk mohair, and it requires for the smallest size 4 balls of yarn. Nice, maybe for some stash yarn that I already have. I need to check because it's really nice amount of fingering weight yarn that can be used for this one. It calls only for 200 grams, so that's great. The next one is made in half fisherman's rib. That's the reason why I decided that it's an interesting pattern, called Aviaya Sweater. Not sure that you can see it here, but there is one more nice picture of it here with a closer look on the back and with a closer look on the half fisherman's rib as well. I have not made half fisherman's rib yet, have no experience with it, but I have made already several brioche sweaters, so I know what to expect from this, and I can survive. Not sure that I would select the same color because don't like such a straight white color. Probably something more creamy would look better. And the beloved pattern by a lot of other knitters is Barbroe Blouse. It has negative ease, very tight fitting long sleeve with a lace details that I like a lot. For sure, I will make this one as soon as possible this spring, or maybe in winter, I don't know, or maybe summer. This one is made with fingering weight 100% merino wool. Also requires only 4 balls for the smallest size. And it can fit a chest up to 165 centimeters. Because of this negative is required for the pattern. That's very nice, but the needle size is 2.5 millimeter needles, 3 millimeter needles, and 1.5 millimeter crochet hook. Not sure if I have such one. I don't know. I need to check. There is also a nice detail on the back with the buttons. I just made the same one for Tiny Tulip's dress. So it looks gorgeous. It looks really feminine, as they call it here. I love the lacing and the general fit of it. That's gorgeous, and I think it may work even with some dark colors, not only light ones. You know, if you are working with some cables, you always know that they will be more noticeable on some light yarn. If you select something dark, like for Moby Sleepover or that I'm working on, if I'd select some dark yarn, all my work will not be so noticeable as it would be on some lighter colors of the yarn. In this case, I think that's impossible because there are a lot of holes in the sweater in general that cannot just stay invisible and unnoticed. And this was it for today. In the end of the book and the covering, there is also a photo of owners of Knitting for Olive working on something. One more thing that I noticed while taking like the first look on this book, that there is like a diversity in the book with a size range and so on, but also I like the natural look of each model, so it doesn't distract you for the patterns from the designs itself. They just look like a natural, like any regular woman in real life, you know, without any editing on the photos, on the skin, with some maybe red dots sometimes, or not perfectly styled hair because they were making photos on the street and the wind may interrupt the photo shoot and make some mess on the hair, for example, on the head. That's also something that I noticed while taking this book in my hands. And this was it that I wanted to share with you today about this book. Let me know, maybe you already started working on some of the patterns from this one, or you are going to make one. Probably it's Barbroe Blouse. Don't forget to follow for more videos. Leave a like if it was useful for you. Leave a comment if you are ready to discuss anything related to the book and knitting in general. Thank you for watching and see you in the next videos. Bye bye.